Part 1. The Thing About Humans. They didn't call it a war at first. The Intergalactic Coalition preferred nicer words. Words like containment, compliance engagement, and human behavioral correction. It made the press conferences cleaner. But to the boots on the ground, it was always war. Bloody, brutal, and personal. The Xenos had numbers. Ships that darken skies. Weapons that liquefy steel. Soldiers born in vats with armor fused to their bones. Humanity? We had duct tape, half-broken orbital cannons, and a collective, pathological refusal to die quietly. The first shot was fired when Earth refused to sign the Unity Accord. Refused to harmonize its species under coalition law. They didn't like that we kept our borders, kept our nukes, and didn't delete our art just because it offended 7-member species' neural comfort zones. And so they came. 49 worlds united in purpose. One Earth, stubborn and scared. Guess who blinked first? Part 2. The Crat of Black Glass. Sergeant Luis Romero had seen better days. Used to be recon, special tactics, 10-year vet. Now, one eye, one leg, and a cigarette burned down to the filter. He'd gotten old, somewhere between the fall of Sydney and the siege of Io. But Earth needed bastards like him. Mean, limping, unkillable bastards. He lit another smoke, looked out over the desert. "You hear that?" he muttered. Private Kim, fresh out of Lunar Academy, tilted her head. "Hear what, Sarge?" Romero's lip curled. "Exactly. No wind, no drones. Quiet. Means someone's about to die." They were stationed near the Black Glass Wastes, an old battlefield bombed with triphasic neutron suns that turned sand into obsidian. Nothing should have lived out there, but the Krat had never cared much for should. Massive insectoid things, 8 feet tall with segmented armor that shimmered like oil. Born in vacuum, bled acid, whispered across comms in dead languages. They'd been coalition muscle since before humans learned to make fire. Romero remembered what it took to kill one. "Eyes up!" he barked. "Kim on thermal. Rest of you set charges. If those bugs want to dance, we're playing rock and roll." Part 3. The Lessons They Never Learn. The Coalition had one fatal flaw. They thought progress meant predictability. That evolution meant control. That a better species followed orders, didn't argue, didn't bleed for dirt or poetry or pride. They thought humanity would crack like any other backwater planet. But Earth had taught them something. You can't break a species that doesn't know when it's already broken. By the time the Krat charged, howling in their radio-silent way, Romero's team was already gone. They left gifts behind, though. Pressure mines rigged to explode upwards, shattering the Krat's ventral plates. Smart shrapnel coated in oxidizing bacteria that turned kite into foam. An old trick, but a good one. Romero watched from a ridge as fire lit the night. Private Kim whistled low. "Damn, that's beautiful." "It's ugly," Romero said, "which is how you know it's working." Part 4. The Diplomat. They sent a Zentari after that. Coalition diplomat. Looked like a jellyfish made of gold leaf and arrogance. Hovered above the ground in the cradle of antigrav and passive aggression. Romero didn't salute, just spat in the dirt and said, "If you're here to talk surrender, start with yours." The Zentari's voice buzzed directly into their minds, like molasses poured into a socket. "Humanity is irrational. You have no chance of victory." Romero shrugged. "Victory's overrated. We're here to make losing cost you something." The Centauri pulsed, annoyed. You persist in defiance despite suffering catastrophic losses? Yeah, Romero said. We call that Tuesday. Part 5. The Legacy We Bury. By year 5, Earth was a graveyard with a heartbeat. Entire continents gone. Oceans boiled. The moon cracked like a porcelain dish. But in the ashes, humans didn't die out. They got meaner, sharper, started turning wreckage into weapons, losses into blueprints. A kid named Malik took a downed coalition mech, refitted with chainsaw arms, and used it to cut through 5 armored walkers in Berlin. The footage went viral. What was left of the net called him Chainsaw Christ. His last words before the feed cut out: "Tell him Earth sends hugs." There were no more rules by then. No Geneva, no Accords. Only the fire in your lungs and the bastard beside you. Part 6. The Thing About Wolves. In the final year, they tried to bomb us from orbit. A last-ditch cleansing initiative, because apparently glassing Earth was easier than understanding it. Didn't work. We hijacked their targeting systems, fed them coordinates. You ever see a warship nuke his own command fleet? We did. It was funny, in a dark way. Coalition Command tried one last message, all staticky and desperate. "What do you want? Why won't you yield?" And the answer went out from every hacked comms tower, every human bunker, every battered outpost across the planet. The message was raw, cracked with laughter and smoke. Because this is the last good war, and we plan to win it ugly. Part 7. Aftermath. The Coalition fractured. Too many dead, too much pride shattered. Their finest species routed by feral primates, with baseball bats wrapped in copper wire and taped together rifles. When they finally left, they didn't take prisoners. They didn't offer peace. They just ran. And humanity? We didn't cheer. We rebuilt, quietly, one brick, one body at a time. Romero didn't live to see the end. Caught a plasma round 2 days before the retreat. Buried in a crater. Wrapped in his squad's old flag. Private Kim carried the torch. Made general at 26. Said at his funeral, "He taught us that victory isn't clean. It's earned with teeth and spite. And that when the stars come knocking, humanity doesn't roll over. We open the door with a bloody grin." Epilogue. The Wall. There's a wall now on the rebuilt Earth. Real stone, chipped by hand. No fancy tech. Just names. 4 billion or so names. At the top, carved deeper than the rest, are 4 words. We died standing up. Underneath, spray painted in defiant red. Round 2, motherfuckers. Just in case they're watching.